Hello everyone, how you going and welcome back to Awfultastebutgreatexecution, the place that we just never know what to feel, but anyway, let's just see what it's got. So then, starting right off with 9/11 Tribute Float. A tribute float? Man, I guess it makes sense. I've never seen anything in terms of 9/11 to that scale in Australia, but I can certainly understand how something like that would exist in America, but no, just look at the thing. Let me just see this again. That is just so bad. The fact that it's just smoking, at least they haven't kind of taken a big chunk out of the side or anything like that, because I feel, oh no, they have. I didn't even realize what that was at first. I thought that was some kind of, I don't know, bird on the side, but then if you think about the scale of it, it just must be a hole in the side of the building. And so yeah, I guess it's well done to some extent. It also kind of just looks like a children's science experiment to another extent. So to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this one, because I feel as though it's not well enough done to kind of just outweigh the entire gravity of the situation here. Because like I was saying, if I pause it here, you can kind of see what I was talking about, or hopefully you can, in terms of the bird. I thought that this wing and then a little head and tail and all those kind of things. The front one, I don't know what that is, but anyway, definitely the back one I thought was a bird. Not that it makes sense for it to be a bird, but that's just what I saw, and then I go, oh, actually, this is a little bit more serious than that. Either way, though, just every single time we come onto this sub, we just have ones where you go, what was the inspiration for this? I guess we know what the inspiration was, but why did they need to carry it out? Because besides the fact that some artists had to put their name to it, or someone at least had to make it, either way, it just is a very, very fine line to walk when you're talking about anything like that. And so I certainly don't hate it, unlike some of the ones I'm sure we're going to see on this sub, but I just feel as though it just could have been done just a little bit better. This plushie my friend brought to school today. Oh no, what are we looking at here? Man, this feels like a weapon of mass destruction to be bringing to school. It feels like it wants to rip out the souls of kids. From the fact that I can't look at both of its eyes at once, to the fact that I don't even know if that's real teeth. I certainly hope not, and I can certainly assume not, but you never know on this sub anymore. And so to be honest, I feel as though this plushie, if you can even call it that anymore, just completely encapsulates what I was just saying with the last one. I wasn't sure if I really hated it yet, but this one is just definitely on the hate scale. It is just hideous. If you block up the teeth, does it get any better? Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say you can kind of look past the fact that it doesn't want to bite your arm off anymore. And so, the entire thing isn't too bad, but man, just with the teeth there and the fact that they're so gappy, like what the hell is going on there? Oh man, I would just love to know how they got those teeth in there or what, because regardless of whether they're real or fake, they just absolutely do the job of being creepy. And so overall, I'm just a little bit afraid for the person that said this was a friend that brought this in, because any friend that is bringing that in isn't really a friend anymore. Commando Crocs. Oh hell yeah, look at that. I can actually get behind them. I feel as though this entire thing is just so self-aware about what it's trying to be, and I gotta give it to them. But no, look at that. It looks as though it's been quite well done, but at the same time it also just could be a render still. But either way, I gotta give it to someone for thinking that up. The fact that it's got a little bag on the back, and it's got, I don't know what to call it, but all the little carabiner spots down on the toe. Oh yeah, someone has absolutely thought every little bit of this through. Even the fact that you can adjust the back heel strip, man, this is like a full expensive product. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past high fashion to actually just bring something like this out, because I feel as though there's a market for something like this. In terms of marketing it to the military and commandos, I feel as though you might want to get rid of the high vis orange and just replace it with black, because you don't exactly want to be spot when you're going commando. I guess thinking about it, having a bag on your heel probably isn't the best if you want to try and just preserve your stride and your gait to a maximum of efficiency, but besides that, I'm sure this entire thing could just be put through the testing regime, because like I said, they've absolutely pulled out all the stops to try and make an efficient shoe. Like shoes are generally just such a waste of space. Once you see anything like this, you got a bag on the back, you got all the spots for anything down the front, you don't have much room, but any room's better than none, I guess. And then even just the fact that they're Crocs, you're not going to have a boot full of water when it can just so easily drain out because it's Crocs. So honestly, I feel as though this entire thing, it might be a little bit to not everyone's taste, but at the same time, you got to give some credit to this entire design, because as far as I'm concerned, it's just functional, efficient, and also just trying to put more Crocs in the world. And hey, can we say that that's a bad thing? Maybe, but just get over it. East European Great Execution, Ukraine. Well then, would you look at that? I can only imagine that would take quite a while, but have they used it as bricks and cemented around it, or just kind of put it into the wall? That's what I want to know, because if it does go all the way through, then that's an incredible amount of light that is being let into that building through all the stained glass, so to say. But man, I can only imagine you could actually make some pretty cool patterns with all the different color bottles. Obviously they're mostly green, but then we can also see that there is a couple of clear ones in there, and really if you got a couple of beer bottles to get some brown and red in there, honestly I feel as though this isn't a bad idea in terms of recycling, if nothing else. I can only imagine as the builder you'd be going, please just never let me see another bottle in my life, because that was so painstakingly slow to build with round things and have to cement around them. But either way, it's been well done. I gotta give it to this guy, because it's even just the fact that he didn't just do one wall. No, he had to go and do the entire building, and so that makes me wonder, is it a church, is it a house, just what is it? Because let's be honest, if that is a church, then you can understand what they were going for, but if that is a house, the novelty of the entire thing would wear off so quickly, and so you're just going, oh please, just I want to knock this entire thing down, or even I guess just shatter your entire house. And so I guess all in all, you just have to give give credit to this guy for sticking to what he wanted. You know, he obviously wanted to use a whole bundle of wine bottles, or I don't know what they are, but a whole bundle of bottles to build a house to let a whole bundle of light in, and I can only imagine he certainly accomplished that regardless of whether you like it or not. Barbara has skills, but wouldn't want my kid walking around like this. Wow, first of all, that is an incredible dye job to be able to get it that precise with all the black. I mean, actually, does Marge wear red pearls? Marge Simpson does. Oh, she does. Wow. Geez, well, my entire life is a lie. I would have absolutely have said that she wears white pearls. I mean, actually, I guess Lisa wears white pearls. But no, coming back to this hairstyle, this is absolutely what this sub is about. Just the fact that you go, oh my goodness, I would never ever have that, but man, is it too good to look away. From just the fact that they've been able to get the outline of the entire thing, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a tattoo under the hair and they just kind of do a little bit of the blue fro up top. Because honestly, other than that, I have no idea how you would ever get that kind of precise with the lines and everything like that. I mean, in saying that, if you do want a tattoo like this, and there isn't too many other spots that are going to be better than this, just because you can grow out your hair, completely cover it up, but then you also get the ability to do something like this. And so now I just want to know, what was the inspiration for doing something like this, where they're having something at school and you know, you're kind of dressing up, and this is certainly one way to dress up. And hey, given the fact that it's only hair, I mean, you can just re-dye it, re-chop it, and it's all going to be gone to cover it up again, so that's not a bad thing at all. But really, just the craftsmanship of the hair, let alone, like I said, just the detail of the rest of the Marge, regardless of whether it's dye or even if it's just a tattoo. And so overall, I can understand how this isn't going to be everyone's taste, and there's no way that I would ever do it, but at the same time, like I said, it's just hair, and so you can't be too mad about the entire thing. The furry skeleton isn't real, it can't hurt you. Oh, what the hell am I looking at? Why does it have such pearly white teeth still? I mean, I don't know why that was the first thing that I was drawn to, but man, that is just something creepy about it, isn't there? Even just the hands are just kind of mittens, and then all the joints are just so puffy and fluffy. Oh man, there is just something wrong about it, isn't there? I mean, I can't pinpoint exactly what it is about it, but there is definitely just something off-putting, isn't there? I mean, maybe that's just because skeletons in general are probably a little bit off-putting, but really just a furry just adds another level. Is it just because it's so polarizing to see a non-pearly white skeleton? Or maybe, but other than that, just what is wrong with this person to even think this thing up? I mean, like I've said before, you certainly have to admire the out-of-the-box thinking by this person, because I can't imagine there were too many people that would be able to kind of dream up a furry skeleton. I mean, it definitely doesn't mean it's right, and I would love to know what kind of use case, or why was this even dreamt up? Like, was it meant to be for some kind of museum? Not that that's really your thing, but otherwise I just really can't think of too many more use cases for it. And so yeah, I mean, you got to applaud the craftsmanship. I mean, I guess like everything on here, you do have to give it a seal of approval, because it certainly seemed to be well done. They've got all the same fabric, and even just the fact that they have uniformly applied all the fur, like really, there is not a single thing on here that I can fault besides the idea overall. This fine china burger. Wow, well, what can I say about this one that wasn't already said in the title? Honestly, it is something off-putting about having the burger, not the burger patties, I guess it's the bread as the fine china. I mean, I can only imagine that the lettuce and the tomato and the cheese is also ceramic, but at least it looks a little bit more normal than having blue in a burger, you know what I mean? I would also love to know the scale of this burger, because I feel as though it could work within such a massive range. Like, it could be tiny, but it could also just be, I don't know, the size of a door, and you go, wow, it looks fine in a photo, but either way, it's just a ceramic burger. And also, in saying that, I guess it depends on size perhaps, but really, I would just love to know what the hardest part of this entire burger would be to make. Is it the lettuce because it's kind of so random, but also just so detailed? Or is it actually the tomato because it has to be so pristine? Or is it the bread? Or just what is it here? Because there's so many different pieces here, but they have all been carried out at such a high level of perfection, so you can't hate a burger like that. I mean, definitely do not bite into this burger, because as strangely appetizing as it may be, I feel as though you're going to be having a pretty bad time very quickly if you do. I mean, overall though, I can certainly understand why someone would want to do this from an artistic perspective. It's kind of an interesting thing to do, especially because it's made out of ceramic, and they didn't just make the buns or the burger, whatever you want to be calling it, the bread, so to say, they didn't just make that also realistic. So even though it might upset a few people because they just want to actually eat the thing, and you go, no, like I said, you just don't eat this thing, really overall I feel as though it's not actually that bad, and that's obviously been well executed. And so now finally, for the top of the month for All for Taste but Great Execution, we have TV cover. TV cover? What kind of TV cover is this, and how is it? Oh my goodness, and what the hell? I mean, to be honest, I don't mind it at all. Actually, when it's on a wall, it even looks better than before. I mean, like the last one, I can certainly understand how it's not to everyone's taste, but I feel as though there is definitely a place in the world for something like this. You know, you don't have to use the lacy fabric or whatever it's called, but I feel as though you could just actually turn the TV into an artwork, but not actually pay a premium price for like a framed TV. You know, you just have a piece of artwork that can be folded up or rolled up or whatever it may be, and you just flick it over the other side. And so if this is the look you were going for and you actually want to cover your TV, it just makes so much sense. You know, you can actually just put a little bit more decoration instead of just having a black wall on your wall. So overall, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this one. On one hand, I love it. On the other hand, I can certainly understand how people think it's a little bit of all for taste but great execution. And so perhaps that is actually why it's top of the month, because people are just going, man, I kind kind of love it, but also hate the idea of it at the same time. I mean, hey, I can only imagine that these probably wouldn't work for too many people that watch their TV a lot because you have to kind of flip it up and over every single time. But if you don't want to do that and you just kind of want to cover it up because you don't use it once a week, let's say, then like I said, by turning your TV into a curtain or even just an artwork, or I don't even know what, you have so many possibilities there, then I just don't feel as though it can be that bad, and if you actually want to go down that route. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the month for All for Taste but Great Execution. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube algorithmic things down below and let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure to check some of the other videos out now, or hey, maybe even just want to consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.